Hello and welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life with your host Avik. This podcast is all about exploring the latest research, sharing personal stories, and providing personal tips for improving our mental health and well-being. Each episode will be joined by experts in the field of mental health, as well as individuals who have experienced the transformative power of a healthy mind firsthand. Together, we will dive into a range of topics from managing stress and anxiety to building resilience and cultivating happiness. So, join us on this journey to discover new ways to take care of our minds, bodies, and souls. And let's work together to create a healthier, happier world one episode at a time. So, let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life, the podcast where we explore the essential practices and the insights that lead to a more balanced and the fulfilling life. I'm your host Avik, and today we are diving into a topic that's crucial for maintaining both the mental and the physical well-being: self-care. Yes. So we all know how challenging it can be to prioritize ourselves in the midst of our busy lives. But what if I told you that establishing a consistent self care routine could be the key to unlocking your true potential? Yes. And today we are thrilled to be joined by Vicki with us. So welcome to the show, Vicki.
Good morning. How are you?
Lovely, great. Good morning. I'm really doing great, and I believe listeners are also very excited to know about the self care. So, but before we do that, I'll quickly introduce you to all of our listeners. Dear listeners, Vicky is a registered nurse with over 30 years of experience and a certified independent health coach. So she has dedicated her life to helping others become the best version of themselves through healthy eating, mindset, behavior, relationships, and the daily habits. So she is here to share her incredible journey of losing 100 pounds, reclaiming her health, and how she is now empowering others to do the same by creating sustainable self care routines. That's really awesome. So, welcome to the show again, Vicky.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, it's been an incredible journey for me.
Yeah.
My lifelong passion is to help others feel as awesome as I feel. And it is through my own health journey that I'm empowering others to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that there is a better way and a healthier way of living.
Exactly. So, your personal health journey is truly inspiring, I'd say. So, if you could share a bit about what motivated you to start your transformation, I mean, how it has shaped your approach to the self care.
Yes. So my life as a nurse has been just busy on the go. And as a nurse, we tell our patients, you have to be healthy. And I wasn't. I just did not practice what I was telling my patients. And I got to a point where I was just so unhealthy, not only in my mind, but in my body, that I needed to make something I needed to change permanently. And for me, I needed all of the aspects of healthy living, not just what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body, but what I'm thinking and what I'm saying and the relationships that I'm involving in.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And so, in your experience, what does self care truly mean, and why is it so crucial for overall well being?
So it's important to take care of ourselves. A lot of times, especially as women and as moms, I have grown children, we put everybody first and we neglect ourselves. And I realized that in order for me to be the best person I am, I have to take care of myself for my family, not only for myself, but for my family. So I got to a point where I just was angry all the time. I, just was an unhappy person all around, and I portrayed unhappiness circle, and that wasn't good. And so what I needed to do, not only change the toxicity of what I'm eating, so now I'm eating greens and protein eliminating the carbs and the sugars, but I'm also self-care. Really involves getting up early and, meditating, getting in the right headspace, getting in the positive space, releasing any negative thoughts that I might have had, and really focus on what I want to do today and for my future self. So it is about habits and establishing great habits in the morning instead of hitting the snooze alarm. Get up when your alarm goes off. We get up, brush our teeth, wash our face, establish the healthy habits of self-care, which for me is coming down and meditating, putting on soft music. It might be you establish a quiet space in your home or in your living area where it's just dedicated to you, where there's no computers, no any other distractions, and you can really just focus on your inner self and your inner mind.
Mhm. Exactly. So, many people struggle with where to begin when it comes to self-care. So, uh, what are some of the first steps that someone should take when trying to establish a routine that sticks?
So I always recommend starting out small, right? You don't want to stack too many healthy habits at once because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. So maybe it is your first habit would be getting up without snoozing. And then the next day, get up, don't snooze, and then maybe come downstairs and maybe just sit quietly in a room. And then your third day, then you want to continue getting up without snoozing, sitting in the room. And then maybe you just create a space with a candle and put out a little yoga mat and put on some Zen music. Just little small habits that build up daily. And as you're building up these habits, you're building up the momentum and you're building up that attitude that I can do it instead of feeling like a failure, like I can't do this. This is too hard.
Hmm. Understood. Yeah. So, what are some of the common challenges that people face when trying to maintain a self-care routine?
Oh, there are a lot of challenges. So one of the challenges could be and I say it an excuse, I don't have the time. I'm too busy. We do have time. We all get the same 24 hours in the day. So how do we prioritize our day? And so much of our lives are just on the go. Our brains are going a mile a minute. And how do we just slow down and prioritize? And I like lists personally. I have a list the night before on my activities for the day. Now, of course, that list may change depending on unforeseen circumstances, but it gets you in the right frame of mind the night before if you make a list. So, for instance, a list could be as simple as, get up at 6 a.m., meditate, get the kids up at 6:45, get them dressed, whatever that is in your personal life, list and stick to it. And I always have a list the night before for my day of.
Okay. Okay. So you talk about the importance of shifting from a diet mindset to a healthy living mindset. So if you can explain the difference between the two and how this shift can impact one's approach to the self-care.
So when I was in an unhealthy mindset, my mind was a chaotic mess, as I call it.
Okay.
And virtually it was 10 things at once. And I didn't even finish a task because I had all these ideas in my mind that I should be going here and doing this and folding that and running to the store and, oh, I got to get to my nursing job. Oh, I got to get the kids. And it just became such a chaos that nothing became routine for me. And I think routine is very important to establish because that will establish you becoming more of in a pattern where then you're not living a chaotic life. And a healthy mind is more organized and more tasks. And so organize the day in increments. The first 20 minutes I'm going to devote to myself. The next 20 minutes I'm going to, if you have children, get the children up, get the children ready. The third increment might be if, you are working at home or working outside, whatever that drive time is, take that 30 minutes. And I always say, if you are driving to and from places, either have a radio station that has calming music or don't have anything on. Just clear your mind of the clutter and the busyness that we are all in the state of rush. And to live healthy, we need to remain in a state of constant stability where we're not flying off the handle and we're not running 10 places and trying to get 10 places and we're tripping over our own feet.
Understood. Understood. So, I mean, how can people begin to break the cycle of emotional and stress eating and develop healthier eating habits that support their self-care routine?
That's a great question. And that's something that I had struggled with for a long time was emotional eating. And for me, emotional eating was eating when I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm glad, I'm mad, all the emotions. I just ate. That was my comfort food. And I had to really take the time to think about what I'm doing. And that is, if I'm in the moment of the stress or the anger and I'm going to the pantry and I'm trying to comfort myself, I really stop in the moment and choose, what am I doing? Am I choosing something that's going to serve me?
Yeah.
Or am I going to choose to walk away and regroup myself and maybe turn internally and say, why am I stressed? What is really going on with me? And for me to, cope healthy, I started journaling. I journaled my thoughts and my anxieties. And I think putting your thoughts on paper really helps put that in perspective. Like, is this something that's truly important, or is this just because our society and we've become so accustomed to the negative thoughts that we, portray in our minds, or, people play off the negativity of each other.
Understood. That's very true. Yep. And you emphasize the importance of daily motion and the exercise. So, what advice do you have for someone who finds it difficult to integrate the regular exercise into their routine?
So for me, I carve out time for exercise.
Okay.
And again, with my list the night before, depending on my day, I still incorporate exercise, whether it's a 5-minute exercise or a 30-minute exercise. And I really stress to people that the importance of exercise is we don't understand the chemistry that's involved in exercise. Exercise releases the endorphins and it makes us happy. And in the moment, we're like, we don't really want to exercise. But in the end, after the exercise, we're like, wow, we actually do feel happy because we are releasing those chemicals that produce happiness. And so I always want people to understand that it is important to take that self-care time, and it is healthy to get some form of exercise. And exercise could be as simple as walking around your home. It doesn't have to be getting a gym membership and spending, 4, 5, 6 hours in a gym. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, call a girlfriend, call a buddy, whatever it is, say, hey, I just need to walk. And sometimes I walk with a girlfriend and we walk for 5 minutes and we vent to each other and we're fine.
Exactly. Oh, cool. So, for those with the busy schedules, what are some of the practical tips for creating the time and the space in their lives for self-care?
Yeah, so we need to recognize that we're just as important as our family members. Right. And it's not selfish to take care of ourselves. And so, what I recommend is having that discussion with your family, saying, listen, you guys are important, but I'm important too. And I'm going to establish some time for myself, and I'm going to establish some healthy routines. I'm going to help, provide some healthy us. I'm going to do some exercise. Maybe it's clean the clutter on the cabinets. That's what's unhealthy in your space. Maybe it's cleaning out the bedroom space to make it more calm and more pleasurable to be in, living in chaotic. But express to your loved ones that you're trying to take care of them, but you are taking care of yourself too.
Yeah. So, your mission is to inspire others to live healthier and the more fulfilling lives. So, what message do you have for our listeners who are just beginning their self care journey?
So, first of all, start simple, start small, and never, ever give up. Always believe you can do it, because that starts in our hearts and our minds that we can do it. Release all of the negative thoughts that you've ever thought about yourself before, and say and repeat, I can do this. Believe in me.
Mm. Okay, got it. Lovely. Great. So, thank you so much, Vicky, for sharing your wisdom and the experiences with us today. And uh, your journey is definitely a powerful reminder that change is not only possible, but sustainable with the right mindset and the approach. And I'm sure that our listeners will find your tips on establishing a self care routine incredibly valuable as they walk towards their own goals. So, to our listeners, remember that self care isn't just a luxury, so it's a necessity for living a healthy, balanced life. So, start small, stay consistent, and be kind to yourself along the way. And if you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe to Healthy Mind and Healthy Life and leave us a review. And if you want to learn more about Vicky and her work, check out the show notes on the for links to her coaching services and the resources. So until next time, take care of yourselves, both the mind and the body, that you deserve it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.